Welcome to the Little Wonder Room. Today we're exploring the oldest restaurants and pubs in Europe that are still serving guests. Grab a seat. Let's dive in. If these walls could talk, they'd tell you they've never gone cold. We're starting in Madrid at Casa Botín, officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's oldest restaurant. Its wood-fired oven has been burning continuously since 1725, through wars, revolutions, and centuries of changing tastes. Legend says Francisco Goya once worked here as a young man, long before his paintings would hang in museums. Generations still come for the same reason. The famous cochinillo asado, roasted exactly as it was 300 years ago. And this is where our journey begins. Madrid, 1725. But while this one holds a world record, the next place takes us deeper into medieval Germany. Founded in 1702, Zum Stiefel emerged at a time when German taverns were more than places to drink. They were centers of news, trade, and daily life. Inns like this one welcomed merchants, craftsmen, and travelers moving along long-established routes that had connected Europe for centuries. Inside, beer was brewed to local tradition, conversations were loud and long, and agreements were often sealed over wooden tables. But while Zum Stiefel reflects early modern Europe, the next restaurant takes us back even further, into the refined world of Renaissance Paris. Long before Paris became the capital of fine dining, one table overlooking the Seine was already making history. La Tour d'Argent began as a tavern, and slowly transformed into a place where kings, emperors, and revolutionaries dined. Legend says Henry IV first used a fork here, so he wouldn't stain his fashionable lace collar. Napoleon is said to have passed through, and every duck served still receives a number, a ritual that has survived for centuries. But France isn't the only country preserving ancient food traditions. Italy is next. At number 8, we're in Bologna, Italy, at Osteria del Sole, pouring wine since 1465. Hidden down a narrow alley, this tiny osteria has been serving locals for more than 5 centuries. The floor plan is almost unchanged since the 15th century. Thick walls, long wooden tables, and no kitchen. Here, you bring your own food from the surrounding market, and they provide only the wine, just like in the old days. It's recognized as one of the oldest taverns in Italy, maybe in the world, and it still feels more like a time machine than a bar. From this medieval wine den in Bologna, we move north to a Scandinavian tavern that has survived plagues, fires, and wars. Imagine Stockholm before electricity, before modern streets. In 1421, Zum Franziskaner, founded by German monks, introduced beer hall culture to the city. Sausages, ale, thick wooden tables. Places like this kept people warm through long Nordic winters. Even today, the low ceilings and dark beams feel unchanged. Some places don't need renovation. They just keep doing what they were built to do. But even this isn't old enough, because the next pub was already serving drinks before Columbus set sail. Every city has a place where stories gather. In Dublin, it's the Brazen Head. Founded in 1198, this pub welcomed rebels, poets, and musicians for over 800 years. Plans were whispered here. Songs were born here. And the food stayed humble. Irish stew, bread, and stout. Some pubs serve drinks. Others serve history by the pint. And now, yet astonishingly, the next place opened even earlier. carved straight into the rock. Some pubs are old, but this one is carved into rock. Ye Olde Trip to Jerusalem sits beneath Nottingham Castle, its rooms cut directly into sandstone. Legend says Crusaders drank here before leaving for the Holy Land. Uneven walls, low ceilings, cave cellars. Nothing about this place feels modern, because it never needed to. This pub doesn't tell stories. It is one. But travelers heading deeper into Europe needed shelter, long before castles and legends took shape. If you were crossing the Black Forest in the Middle Ages, you needed more than directions. You needed safety. Since 1120, Zum Rotenbaron has offered food, drink, and rest, making it Germany's oldest hotel and tavern. For centuries, weary travelers found warmth behind its thick stone walls. It has survived fires, wars, and changing borders, all while continuing to host travelers. Still, it doesn't come close to the next place, where beer has flowed since the early Middle Ages. What does 1,000 years of conversation sound like? You might hear it at Sean's Bar. Dating back to the year 900, this pub stood while Vikings passed through Athlone. During renovations, ancient wattle and daub walls were uncovered, proving just how deep its roots run. This is not a medieval-style pub. It's the real thing, and yet even this ancient bar is young compared to where our journey ends. Before castles rose, before borders were drawn, this kitchen was already cooking. Founded in 803, Stiftskeller St. Peter is the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Europe. It appears in writings from the time of Charlemagne and later welcomed figures like Mozart. For over 1,200 years, people have sat down here to eat, generation after generation. If you enjoyed this journey through Europe's oldest pubs and restaurants, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves history served on a plate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Little Wonder.